Hello my favorite people, today we're going to be reacting to a video that was suggested to me called Understanding European Soccer, 4 Simple Steps, a Guide for Americans. I find it very funny and kind of disrespectful that they have to specify that this is a guide for Americans, as if we don't know anything, which we don't, but like, you don't have to say it. But anyways, I'm expecting that this is going to tell us more about like red cards, different positions in soccer, the basic rules, I guess you could say, about the game of football. So I'm excited to get into it. Make sure you subscribe if you're new here. Check out my other sports reactions. I do rugby, soccer. I plan to do a bunch of other ones. Just leave me some suggestions down below. Like the video so I know you want me to do more soccer content in the future. Check out the second channel too, which is linked down below, and DM me video requests over on Instagram. Okay, here we go. Understanding European Soccer in 4 Simple Steps, a Guide for Americans. Disrespectful.
Welcome to Understanding Soccer in Europe in 4 Simple Steps, a guide for Americans. Although from the outside it may seem complex and confusing, to understand how soccer works in Europe, you really only need to know 4 things.
Okay.
Number 1, each country has its own soccer league.
Okay. From the other reactions, you guys know that was what was tripping me up too. Like this whole clubs, nationality, like, y'all were saying there's specific instances where a player can actually play for a different country than they were born in. For instance, if they marry into that country, if their parents are from that country. Like, I was born in America, but my heritage is Nigerian. So if I wanted to be a female soccer player, I could play for America or Nigeria. So that makes more sense now. But as for the clubs, the leagues, all that other stuff, it's kind of confusing. So let's check it out.
It's run from August to May, in which each team plays every other team twice, once at home and once on the road. Games are divided into 2 45-minute halves.
45? Jesus. 45 minutes of cardio. That's a lot. No wonder their muscles and bodies are so ripped. 45 minutes back to back. And there's a lot of players in soccer on the soccer team, so they're constantly being switched out, right? Except for people like Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo. But man, to be playing that long, that's a lot of work on your body.
And when the game is over, the winner is awarded 3 points, the loser 0, and in the...
What? When the game is over, you get 3 points. What does that have to do with anything?
halves. And when the game is over, the winner is awarded 3 points, the loser 0, and in the event of a tie, each team gets 1 point.
Okay, so I guess before you get to the World Cup, you gather all these points for each game. Interesting.
After each team has played all the other teams twice, the team with the most points is crowned champion of the league. They get a big trophy, a parade, and the season is over. There are no...
Wait. So the team with the most points. Okay, we got Munich, we got Dortmund. I said before I need to check out like the different teams throughout the world because there's so many and I don't even know geography really. But that's cool. I didn't realize that's how the league worked. I thought everything led up to the World Cup, but it's just a title, I guess, for the league players. So who goes to the World Cup?
Champion of the league. They get a big trophy, a parade, and the season is over. There are no playoffs. Sort of. But more on that in a minute. Before the books are closed on the season, there is still one small bit of housekeeping to be done. Number 2, relegation. We use the German league as an example. Every year, when the German league has concluded and the champion has been crowned, the 3 teams with the least amount of points are kicked out of the league.
Okay, I'm kind of confused. He said the German league. I thought the league was just the entire branch of soccer, and all these different countries play within the league. But you're telling me every country has its own league, and they play each other in each country? And he just said something about the 3 suckers get kicked out.
The league has concluded and the champion has been crowned. The 3 teams with the least amount of points are kicked out of the league. This process is known as relegation. The 3 vacant spots are subsequently filled by the top 3 teams from Germany's 2nd division. And unlike, say, baseball... not the people who aren't good, but like the people that aren't as important, they come in running, yay, we get a chance. That's funny. The 2nd division. Ugh. So you're just waiting around, if you're in the 2nd division, you're just waiting around for an opportunity to get in the entire season. On the U.S., teams in the 2nd and subsequent divisions are not owned by teams in the top division. Imagine if the Pittsburgh Pirates or Oakland Raiders had to fight at the end of each season just to stay in the league. What if instead of coasting to the bottom for better draft picks, they were fighting to the bitter end?
to avoid the $40 million revenue loss that relegated teams suffer in the first year alone.
That's a lot of money. $40 million if you get down to the bottom, you have to spend. But also means if you get to the top, you're accruing, I'm sure, more than $40 million. So it's like a gamble, but it's a huge gamble. And if you have a good team, if you practice, if there's chemistry, you could potentially be coming out with a big bag. But I still wouldn't gamble with $40 million. That's a lot of money.
Not to mention the fact that in England, 9 different teams have gone financially insolvent within 5 years of relegation.
Ouch, England, what's going on? I thought y'all were out here. You had your FCs, you had your Manchesters, but y'all been relegating constantly. 40 million every year? Because he said it's one consistent year. That's a lot of money. Y'all rich.
Not to mention the fact that in England, 9 different teams have gone financially insolvent within 5 years of relegation. Okay, interesting enough, you're thinking. What about that whole lack of playoffs part?
Yeah.
Number 3. Each country also holds an elimination-style tournament, referred to as a cup. But instead of being held after the 9-month league is over, cup games are scheduled in between league games.
What? So you have playoffs in the middle of the season? I would understand that if you have like 2 sets of playoffs, you know?
Normally in the middle of the week. One additional perk about
the middle of the week? That's weird.
Cup games are scheduled in between league games, normally in the middle of the week. One additional perk about the cup system is that teams from all levels, down to semi-professional and even some amateur teams, are invited to play. And
I like that. Because like I just said before, like the second division, they're just sitting around waiting for the relegation period. Well, they're just in off-season practicing all year, but they're doing it also because they're going to be going to the cup in the middle of the season. So, like, you don't have to wait around. And it even gives the amateurs a chance to, like, play some real competition. I would think for the other lower divisions, it's like a scrimmage. Or do they take it, like, seriously as if they were in the first division? I think that's cool how they have all these different levels playing against each other in the cup. It gives them an opportunity to advance. I like that.
do well.
Could a third division player ever make it to the first division if they, like, just practice their skill set? Can they ever be drafted to a better division?
Progress, and occasionally even knock off a top team. So every year, these midweek elimination games continue until there are only 2 teams left who play each other in the cup final. After 90 minutes, a cup champion is crowned, they get a trophy, and a parade. So, between the league and cup games, we get a great picture of who the best and worst teams in each country are. But wait a second, you ask. What would happen if the best teams from each country in Europe all got together and played each other? Good idea. Number 4. The resulting competition is called the UEFA Champions League, and it is without a doubt the single greatest club competition of any sport anywhere in the world, period.
Okay, so a league is... Wait. A league is a club. He said all the leagues playing against each other, the top first division ones, go to the club and play. So a club is higher up than a league. Leagues are just individual countries. A club is when all the countries come together and play each other. So league, individual, club, everybody. Gotcha.
Think of the NCAA tournament, but with better quality of play, more than double the fan...
Better quality of play? Don't disrespect us.
and quadruple the enthusiasm. And yes, Europe has their own version of the NIT as well. So, through a complex and drawn-out process, teams from all over Europe compete just to qualify for this tournament. And starting each September, the top 32 teams are put into 8 groups of 4. Each team plays the other members of its group 2 times, once at home and once on the road. Come December, the winner and runner-up from each group move on to the knockout round.
The runner-ups, too. I would just think it'd be the winner.
And this is where club soccer is at its finest. Teams are...
When you get rid of the riffraff and get the big boys out there going against each other.
Paired up individually, and again play 1 home and 1 away game, with the winner from each pair moving on to the next round until only 2 teams remain.
Okay, in this example, we were talking about Real Madrid a lot in the last reaction. Apparently they're really good. We also have Barcelona, I hear their name a lot. Munich, maybe we'll check them out. But we got a lot of other teams too. Arsenal, Celtic, the Valencia, Milan. There's so many different teams, it's insane.
Champions League final is then held as a single game each year in May. And unless it's the World Cup year, this is the most important soccer game of the year. After 90 minutes, a champion is crowned, the trophy is awarded, parades commence, and all clubs go on break until the madness fires back up again in August.
Ah. Okay, so they get like 4-month off season, but I feel like they're probably still training during that time, no? And it's funny how everyone gets a celebration or parade, like the entire country community celebrates their victor, or y'all celebrate anyone who wins. That's nice. And also in the club, they do a point system too, it looks like, in the little chart thing he has.
So, to review, number 1, each country has its own league.
League.
Number 2,
Relegation.
the worst teams are kicked out of the league and replaced by the best teams from the next division down.
Yes.
Number 3,
The
throughout
cup.
the year, each country also holds a playoff-type tournament called a cup. And
Now, what's the difference between the Cup and the World Cup, though? The World Cup is what teams who play in the Cup from Europe then go and play the entire world, and they could just call it the World Cup? And how often does that happen? Like once a year, like this thing? Or is it like the Olympics every 4 years?
number 4, the UEFA Champions League is a tournament involving all of Europe and is the most important competition in all of club soccer.
But it's not the World Cup. I think I mixed up that. Okay, I learned a lot in this video. I finally understand the difference between a league and a club and the importance of it. I really like how you guys also include your lower divisions and like, not rookies, but like the not so famous big name teams get to play as well in the championship thing. I really like that. I hope you guys enjoyed this reaction. If you did, give it a like so I know you guys did, and subscribe if you're new here. Bye!